What's up, guys? Welcome back to Revelation 11:27, my YouTube channel, where we speak the truth and nothing but the truth, and where you could be yourself. Because there is no better feeling than being yourself. How was you guys' new moon last night? I feel like it sounds so cliche, but I'm like, I feel like I realized a lot of things. I realized how when people think they could get over on you, they will do that, right? But then as time goes by and they can't get over on you, or their plan to get over on you did not work, they're like, oh shit. And then they try to come back into your life. Lucas. Yes. And then they try to come back into your life acting like if nothing happened. They come back into your life and show you all of the love that they denied you from feeling when they thought that you were not going to be anything. And then they come back into your life and they try to make you feel guilty when you're doing good and things like that. But what is the energy? Even Lucas is a little bit anxious. What do we need to know, Spirit? What do we guys see? I can admit that I still have a lot to learn. So maybe, and this is the the Hierophant card. So maybe there's some type of culture involved, some passed down beliefs from family members, from religion, right? And then the Two of Wands, it's like you had a decision to make, right? And the Two of Wands is kind of like a fiery. Maybe you had a decision, I call it, to make about a specific someone, whether or not they matched your beliefs or your values, right? Maybe you had to really see where someone stood, right? And that is good, because why would you want to hang out with someone who you're not aligned with, right? Why would you want to hang out with someone who doesn't have the same values and integrity as you? Which is why we have the Hierophant here, higher word, right? So maybe you had to really dissect a person and see them for who they are, right? And then we have Death here. Look, it says, I can admit when something has run its course. So maybe you had to end a relationship in the past. Maybe you had to end a friendship with someone who you were not aligned with. Remember, we got the Hierophant. And then it says, I confront tough decisions with an iron will. So that was a tough decision for you to make, for you to stop speaking to someone, for you to set boundaries, for you to separate yourself from a specific person. That is why we have the Death here, right? Because with the Death comes a new beginning. And now you hold more space in your life for people that are more aligned with you, right? You hold space now because you got rid of those who were not for your highest good. Let's just call them like that. And because you did that, right, that brought in that death. You're no longer hanging out with them. You're no longer speaking to them. You're no longer involving yourself with them or their lives or their illusions. Confirmation with the birds. And then we have the Knight of the Swords. So the swords have everything to do with the mind. I use my smarts. So in this situation, you had to, really dig deep inside of your mind to really see a specific person for who they were. Maybe they were a liar. Maybe they were doing things behind your back. And maybe they were really good liars, because, come on. But look, you made that tough decision. Now you're good. I'm glad that you realized that, right? Oh, realization. Realize. And sometimes, guys, these people could even be your own family. Right? It's like my mother and my stepfather evicted me like 6 months ago. And ever since then, I've just been from hotel to hotel with my dog, Lucas. I went to jail. I was homeless. Did not know where I was going to live the next day. They denied me food when I was living with them. And I've been nothing but loving to my family. Even, they would be able to tell you that. They created all these lies about me. Said I was a prostitute, said I was a drug addict. My brother as well. And now look, they thought that by doing that, they were going to be able to come up in life. But no. My mother, after 6 months of us not seeing each other or communicating with each other, has reached back out to me. And at the beginning, I didn't think it was her because, come on, like, I changed my phone number. They were the ones that evicted me. They were the ones that denied me food. They were the ones that were creating all these lies. And then she just shows up acting like the sweetest mother, worried for me, asking me if I'm eating, sending me money for this so I can eat, asking me, have you ate? Things that I consider to be so important. Like, if someone asks me if I ate, like, wow, you really care if I ate or not. But I even cry because I'm like, damn, like, I know this is not my mother, but this love feels so good. And then she shows up in person to bring me food. And acts like she didn't try to evict me. And acts like she didn't try to deny me from all of the love that I deserve. And tries and act like she didn't deny me food. And tries to act like she's been a loving mother. But look, that's what happens when people thought they could erase you out of this world, out of this planet, and their plan to do so did not work. And then they see you in person and how well you're doing, and they see that everyone else that they lied to is now able to see the lie that they have created. And they don't know what to do with themselves. Oh, my phone is like low-key shaking a little bit. My mother has been texting me saying, you know, you're my firstborn. You know, you're my greatest gift. You know, you're this, you're that. Yeah, I know. So if I'm that, why did you create all of those lies about me? Because you thought that you were going to be able to just erase me out of this world and no one would have known what would have happened to Ray. No. Why am I even... But yeah, that's just an example of a death I had to put up, you know, even to my own family. So I could be able to connect with people that are actually authentic and that actually love me for me. Yeah. So this is the Ace of Wands right here. Maybe it's new. Maybe you're starting a new fiery beginning. Maybe you're excited about something, right? The Three of Wands. I am bold enough to take confirmation. I am bold enough to take leap. If you feel like you're not loved somewhere, if you feel like people have second interest with you, if you don't feel welcomed anywhere, right? It is okay to take a leap and leave those people or that place so you could actually feel the love and be connected to people that will love you for who you are, right? No. And if you're someone like me, right, you're someone that cares deeply. Like, I connect with people through their soul. If I care for you, I care deeply. But look, that is one thing I've learned, right? You could be an empath, but you could be an intelligent empath, right? And not allow for these energy sucking people to drain your love or to drain your care, right? Which is why I could see my own mother for truly who she is. I could see my brother for who he is. I could see my father for who he is. I could see my grandmother for who she is. I could see all of them for who they are. And even though I'm a very caring person, I don't ever have to have a relationship with them. Why? Because I've been nothing but a loving son. I've been nothing but a loving brother, a loving grandson. I've been nothing but loving to my family. And they thought that they were going to be able to, you know, just erase me out of this world and confuse people about the true nature of who I am. I just feel like that had to come out. Yeah, and look. That's how people feel when they lose someone that was so loving to them and kind to them, authentically. They feel in sorrow, right? They lost someone that was so valuable that God had sent them. Grief, depression. And you could be like, Ray, well, just forgive them. I have. Which is why I'm able to sit here today and speak about it. And what allows me to do that is we're going back to basics, that I've been nothing but loving to my family. Nothing. I've never done anything bad to them. Yeah. And they just want to cling on to me. Even after they thought that they were going to be able to do that, right? Holding on, obsessing over me, spying, watching my videos. But look. I guess that's a sign that you're doing good, right? When, like, people you never thought were going to come back into your life, they come back. They literally in front of your face act like they didn't just do everything they just did to you. That's a sign that you're doing good. And how you confront that situation, right, could be a sign that you're doing even better. Oh, confirmation. My ancestors were like, that literally had to come out. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have created this channel where we could just speak about everything, where we welcome all religions, and where you could be yourself, right? But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day and see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, it did it again. Thank you, ancestors.